What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And listen, couple days off, people, you know what I mean? That whole title winning week, it took a lot out, you know what I mean? It was a busy week and the heat and everything. But big up to everyone locked in on this Thursday, and Champions League build-up sort of begins now, people. And they've updated StreamYard as well. So when I came on StreamYard, I thought, what's going on here? It all looks different. But big up to everyone. We'll have a brief discussion about the Champions League. We'll go into that more tomorrow. And there's a lot of transfer news going around at the moment as well, which is, I mean, it's to be expected. You know, Fabrizio is back. I feel like we haven't seen Fabrizio and Ornstein for about 6 months. And then now, do you know what I mean? Every 2 minutes we'll be talking about them. But listen, is what it is. Transfer news, it definitely sells, don't it? So I can understand why why it's all out there. So big up to everyone. We'll discuss some of the transfer stories, and we'll have a little look ahead of the Champions League final. But tomorrow, I think, is the press conference. So we'll have a look at that tomorrow and all that sort of stuff. So big up to everyone locked in. Big up. He's always there. He's always talk. The late show, people. The late show. Big up C Champion Unit. Yeah, we love it. Champions, people. The member stream was actually meant to be today, but we're going to do it on Tuesday because then we'll have the Champions League to discuss as well. So quote me on that. Tuesday will be the member stream. Morgan Rogers, we'll talk about that. Big up Ash. Ash, I did see your message. I will get back to you. A lot of people, let me just say this in general. A lot of people are asking me, is there anywhere to watch the game in London on Saturday? I mean, there's loads of places. The Tollington, but they're selling tickets, and I believe they're nearly sold out. Obviously, there's a stadium watch along. They're sold out, but keep checking on the exchange because some tickets have become available. And you can buy them as well, I think, through some of the websites, resale, but they're selling them for like £200 or £300, which is a bit crazy when they cost like £30. I know Tocker Social, I know Box Park in Shoreditch. So there's a lot of places, but you just got to remember these places are charging ticket prices what are way more expensive. You might be paying £20, £30 to go and watch. I was invited yesterday to go and watch Jamaica against India down at the Valley, Charlton Athletic. And I saw some of the videos, man. I don't even think the stadium was half full. They really didn't promote that situation very well. Tickets are like £30. Jamaica didn't pick hardly any of their big players. And compared to last year at Brentford, where it was a real good event. And then the finals on Saturday at the same time as the Champions League final. Not the smartest thing to do if you're trying to promote a game of football. Yeah, let's put it on at the same time as the Champions League. But yeah, I never went to it anyway. Big up the New York Knicks. They're in the final. Can they beat OKC? Although OKC aren't in the final yet, I believe they got one more game against San Antonio. Maybe Wemby will stop them, you know. I did watch the overlap. Brilliant. And I am getting some new green screen backgrounds as well. So we will be there, people. We will be there. Big up to Jashar. Eagles, over to you now. Arsenal. We're going to talk about that. Big up Jashar. And big up Thomas Talks Football. Deck and Gabby lift Arteta. Captain Captain Martin ease his way out. Well, yeah. Let's see if he's at the club next year, Odegaard. I think he will be, but I've seen some people saying they think he might be on his bike. By the way, apologies for the different stream time today. It is half term here, so yeah, the schedule is all over the place this week. But obviously, Champions League final is a 5 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, a little bit earlier than usual. So we'll be live. I might even go live about 3 o'clock because it's such a big game. We might need build up, and I will not be wearing a suit, by the way. Yeah, one suit, one final, and it didn't work, so I ain't wearing it again. But yeah, big up to everyone. Big up to Matty in the chat as well. Big weekend on deck. I'm fiending for this Champions League. Bro, I'll be real, like, and I've said this all the time. I want the Champions League more than the league. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. And I get why people do love the league so much because it's the bread and butter. You're the best team in the country. You've seen off Pep. but I want that star above the badge. Listen, let's get greedy. Let's get both. You know what I mean? What's the problem? Let's get both of them. Right, let's have a little discussion over some general football. Then we'll talk Arsenal and all things football. Get the likes up, people. I realise it's half term and the sun's out, and you know the numbers are a bit up and down this week. As I said, I've been off for the last 2 days. Just needed to chill. I feel like I'm on holiday, people, with the weather, with the Premier League win, and all those sorts of things. Oliver Glasner, what a job he has done at Crystal Palace. He's got to go down now as Crystal Palace greatest ever manager when you look at achievements. He's won the FA Cup, he's won the Community Shield, and he's now won the Conference League. Bear in mind, he lost Elise, he lost Eze, he lost Gahey in the middle of a season, and Mateta tried his best to leave in January as well, failed the medical at AC Milan, and then came back. Fans were booing him. What a job. What a job. He deserves a big move, really. But I was happy for Palace. Listen, I've seen people online saying, you know, I don't want any other English club to do well. I'll be honest, I think certain teams like Palace, I wanted Palace to win yesterday. I wanted Aston Villa to win in the Europa League final as well. To be honest, I quite like both teams. So well done to Crystal Palace. Mateta with the goal, did his Kung Fu kick celebration on the corner flag, and a great exit for him from Palace. I'm sure he'll have a good job lined up. I don't mind Palace, man. They bought Eddie Nketiah for 30 million. All their fans, well, not all, but a lot of their fans want him gone now. He's ended up becoming their third choice striker behind Strand Larsen and Mateta. And they sold us Eze. So, yeah, no problem with that. Shout out Glasner, shout out Palace, and well done to them. Excellent. Remember, this is a club that had never won a major trophy in their entire history. And this guy's won an FA Cup and a Conference League in the space of a year. So, what a job he's done, man. I heard them asking him if he was going to stay, and he sort of said, no, I've already made my mind up. Blah, 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 and he's on his way out. We're just talking a bit of general football. I will get to Arsenal shortly. When I saw this story yesterday, I thought, what is going on here? Football is going crazy. Anthony Gordon to Barcelona. Here we go. Official bid now accepted by the Newcastle board and the Saudi owners. 70 million euro fixed fee plus another 10 million euros. Equates to about 70 million pounds. I don't know if I'm just getting older. I don't know if I have to understand that football has changed and it's not the game that I thought it was. Maybe I've got to move with the times, people. But Barcelona, to me, like you're near the top of the food chain. Like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, AC Milan, Juventus. Gordon, 70 million. Do you know the thing? I want to make it clear, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to Barcelona and scored a lot of goals. He's very quick. He presses very well. They'll get time and space. They dominate possession. It wouldn't surprise me if he went there and scored 15 goals. He's not a terrible player, but he just doesn't feel that nothing about him feels like Barcelona. Doesn't have the swagger. He doesn't have that personality. He's not that good. It just feels like a wild signing. I'm hearing 2 weeks ago, Barcelona haven't got no money. They're dropping 70 million on him. Now, what does this deal mean for Marcus Rashford? Rashford scored 14 goals and they've gone for Anthony Gordon. Rashford was 30 million. Gordon 70 million. I don't get it. I'm baffled by it. Don't get me wrong. In rotation, you've got Rafinha and Yamal, him as the rotation. I don't know. It just feels like, to me, he's not Barcelona levels. However, I didn't want him at Arsenal. But do you know what it is? The levels dropped. I sort of have to realise that, yeah, but football ain't where you think it is. And that's kind of what I have to understand. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Gordon went there and got like 15 league goals. He's not a bad player. I think it's his style. He's got a massive ego that doesn't feel justified for the level he's at. And him getting, like, Barcelona hijacked Bayern Munich to get him. It's like he's not being linked with like half decent clubs. This is the top level clubs. But listen, this is the game. Mudryk cost 88 million. He's nothing special, is he? So I don't know where Barcelona find this money, but they find money when they need to find money. Then you hear that. Then this morning, they're going again, people, Barcelona. Now, this one I don't like. Taking Anthony Gordon, not the end of the world. I didn't want him. But Barcelona are preparing their first official bid for Julian Alvarez to be sent soon and without any players included. Julian informed Atleti of his desire to leave after rejecting a new deal months ago. After a direct meeting with the agent and intermediaries, Barca will send a bid. And Lay, you could be right. Gordon could go there and level up. Let's be real. Rafinha was at Leeds. We wanted him, but no one was sitting here going, you know what? Rafinha's one of the best wingers in the world. We just went, yeah, he's a very good player who plays for Leeds. We're now looking at Rafinha at Barca going, yeah, like this is a guy that was in Ballon d'Or conversations a year ago. So listen, stranger things have happened. Maybe Claire Balding, a.k.a. Gordon, goes to Barcelona and rips it up. Julian Alvarez, he said it's his dream move to go to Barcelona. They reckon that Messi's had conversations with him, you know, to sort of sell the project to him. I always said that if Barcelona come in for Julian Alvarez, we're not going to get him. It's his dream club. He wants to play in Spain. Barca have just let Robert Lewandowski go, and they reckon it's going to cost at least £100 million. So, yeah, if you look at it, Gordon and Alvarez as a two strengthens them significantly, if I'm being totally honest. If you've got Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Alvarez and Gordon, Ferran Torres, they do now have good attacking options. So, yeah, it looks like Julian Alvarez could be going to Barcelona. They found money down the back of the sofa. And it looks like Gordon and Alvarez on the way. I think what we got to understand as well, Hansi Flick plays a high press. He likes that sort of Jurgen Klopp high press from the front, defense high. Gordon can press, Alvarez can press. So it's interesting, but big clubs making big moves. So we need to make big moves in the transfer window this summer. Big up to everyone locked in. Just under 2,000 of you locked in. Armin said, flying down from Sweden tomorrow for the parade and the final. I hope a lot of you are traveling. If you're not traveling, then, you know what I mean, just make sure you're locked in. The watch along tomorrow, the watch along on Saturday will hopefully be the biggest watch along we've ever had on this channel. Ruckus the champ, beast of a community, proper beast mode community, man. J Sam said, champion feeling is a good one. I mean, yeah, you just wake up and you're like, you stretch in the morning, you're like, oh, I'm a champion. I'm a champion. You just walk downstairs. I want to walk like a champion, talk like a champion. You know what I mean? What time are you going to be at work today? I don't know, but I'm a champion. No, don't say that. They'll sack you. But Jimmy said, Rogers, stay away, please. Okay, you've led me into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the story. I want to go into a little bit of detail with this one as well. Oz, you're right. Oh, the top feels so much better than the bottom. Man City, you're a window shopper. Mad at me. I think I know why. They're window shoppers, man. I know I was saying that, man. I should really be streaming for about 5 hours before the game even kicks off. I think you can stream for about 10 hours or 11 hours. Then you have to start another stream. Kickoff's at 5, probably be done for 7. Maybe I should. Yeah, really. We'll see. Saturday, I might start that stream mad early. Definitely at least 3 o'clock, but maybe even earlier. Make sure you get the likes up. Let's talk about the big transfer news over the last 48 hours regarding Arsenal. And it concerns one player. And that is man like Morgan Rogers, people. Man like Morgan Rogers. Came from Alex Crook. A number of other people have reported it. He works for TalkSport, but other people are saying it as well. Arsenal are ready to step up their interest in Morgan Rogers. TalkSport understands Mikel Arteta is personally leading the drive with preliminary talks with his advisors believed to have already taken place. Aston Villa value Rogers at a minimum of £80 million. Man said, go home, Roger. Now, I want to give you a bit of info, what I've heard about this, right? And again, you know me, people, I don't run no Twitter account, leaking out news. I don't ITK, I don't do none of that, right? This is just conversation for us in our community. I don't tweet none of this. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. You know, I got a couple links at Arsenal, right? I just had a general conversation. It was a general catch up. Said, yo, Morgan Rogers. And I was told that we are very much in for him and that he very much wants to come to Arsenal. I didn't hear anything else. He didn't say it's going to happen. He didn't delve into much. I just said, like, yo, is this paper talk or is this genuine? And he just said to me, like, look, the interest is genuine and the player wants to sign for us. There's a couple of angles. Arteta was at Manchester City when Rodgers was at Manchester City when he was playing in the youth team. He then went to Middlesbrough, then came to Aston Villa, so he knows him. No, I'm not hand of Arsenal, people, definitely not. And they're saying that Rodgers wants to come to Arsenal. He loves the way we play football. He loves the fact, you know, we're winning trophies now is what these guys want to be a part of. I'm going to give you my angle on this Morgan Rogers deal, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Get in the comments, is this a deal you would be happy with or not? Let me know. This is my problem with this deal. Morgan Rogers, the player, I would sign him, right? I think he's a fantastic player. I love the way he plays. He drives on the ball. He scores goals. He's skillful. He's two-footed. I think he can get better and better and better. The problem I've got with this deal is, where are you going to play him? Because to me, Morgan Rogers is like a left 10. He's not a left winger. He's a left 10. He don't hug the touchline. He's a left 10. Now, to me, Eze is kind of a left 10. That's where he played for Palace. And Odegaard's still at the football club. If you're buying Morgan Rogers for £80 million to play him left wing and hug the touchline, I don't know if that's the right signing. I would rather go and get a natural winger with pace that plays in that position. I don't want a 10 on the left. Do you know what I'm saying? The same thing with Eze. I didn't want Eze on the left. So if you've got Eze, and you've got Odegaard, and you're buying Rodgers to put him on the left, is that going to work? Is that the best that we can do? He's a very good finisher. He's a very good goal scorer, and he is versatile, but I want a specialist. I don't want a 10 that can play on the left. I want a player that plays on the left, that is blistering pace, that is brilliant on the ball. So what do you guys think? What do you got? To me, it's just, how are you going to profile him? And how much money have we got? If we're loaded with money and there's 300 million in the bank, buy the left winger, buy Rodgers, buy the striker, buy the right back, buy all of them. But if this is Arsenal's left wing signing, I don't know. What do you guys think? Lawrence said Rodgers has more pace than Eze. Ballers also ball. I hear you. Ballers do ball, but you do need to play them in the right position. You do need to give them the right role. People have to understand, playing left wing for Arsenal, you have got to defend. Arteta demands work rate. He kind of drifts inside for Villa. He doesn't do the same amount of running back that Martinelli has to do when he's playing on the left. So you can buy a great player, but if you misprofile them, you don't get the best out of them, is my point. So the player, sign him, but you have to use him in the right way. I'd be saying Havertz gone, Odegaard gone, Jesus gone, Trossard gone, Martinelli at the right price, I'd let him go as well. Ben White would be gone. Norgard would be gone. So for me, I'm going into next season with Eze and Morgan Rogers as my two number 10s. Nwaneri can play there if we need be as well, because I'd be bringing him back. But this manager ain't going to get rid of Odegaard and Havertz in one window. I don't see it happening. Basically, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Big up Akeem, believe in Arteta. He knows what he's doing. Listen, the only thing you would say with Arteta, and again, I'm not using this as an opportunity to have a go at him. Sometimes he has misprofiled attacking players. We've seen Martinelli as faded. Saka is probably because of injury. Gyökeres, we haven't really got the best out of him yet. Lacazette and Aubameyang got worse. I get that saying ballers ball, but sometimes ballers don't ball because the role they're playing in isn't the right role. So I get that. Yeah, people were saying this yesterday, and I get that. They were sort of saying, look, Trossard is not an out-and-out winger. He drifts inside. Rodgers could sort of play that role where he's drifting in and you get your width from the left back. Listen, I'll be honest, if I saw now Morgan Rodgers to Arsenal, here we go, I'm going to be happy with it. I am. Because I rate the player highly. I do rate the player highly. I rate him that highly that I would let it go and go, okay, just make sure you get the best out of him. But if he's running back and I'm seeing him at left back doubling up with Nketiah, I say, yeah, you've got it wrong here, mate. You know, he's not that kind of player. He's a bit of a free spirit, but he's a top player. He's a top player. 80 million, I suppose that is the going rate. He's English as well. How old is he? How old is Morgan Rodgers? 23, yeah, he's a baller. He's an absolute baller. The age makes him even better. 10 Premier League goals, 6 assists, 3 goals in the Europa League, 5 assists. So altogether, you're looking at 13 goals and 11 assists. Yeah, the guy, yeah, bring him. Yeah, bring him. I've seen enough. I'm a fan of Rodgers still. I just want to know how that starting 11 looks. I still think if you buy Rodgers, you probably still need to buy a winger. You know, you might need to get somebody else who's just so. But anyway, he's a good player. What do you guys think? I'm one big upset. Our new number 17, Morgan Rodgers, top player. Steve said make Arsenal French again. Buy Barcola. I would like to see a French player. He hasn't signed one French player. But make sure it's the right French player. Big up Fitz Joseph. Hope you're well, bro. Listen, Fitz, by the way, is a new man right now. He's buying merch. He's complimenting the manager. I told you we're just a reflection of the club, people. We're all happy right now. Fitz said, see, I think that KSE have finally realised just how big Arsenal are. For all the celebrations in London, coupled with the ones worldwide, they now see Arsenal are by far the biggest club they own. Do you know what? You've made a fantastic point there. I think that with Josh and Stan being in England when we won the league, they would have looked at it and gone, okay, so we've won the league. Okay, so what's happened? Winning the league gets you extra money than being second. But the merch is selling out. You've got a queue for 2 to 3 hours inside the stadium to get a name and number on the back of your shirt. All the Champions merch is selling out everywhere. You've got 1 million fans in Kenya celebrating in the street. You're going to have 1 million fans in London this weekend. Yeah, hotels are sold out. You've got celebrations in America. I saw one in Kenya, saw one in Uganda, saw one in Jamaica, one in India. They're probably looking at it going, so we're making this much millions a year owning this club, but you're telling me if we win trophies, we can double it, treble it, quadruple it. They're probably rubbing their hands together. Why didn't you tell me this, Josh? Okay, there's 250 million. Go and buy more players and make me more money. They're probably looking at it more from Stan's point of view, would be a business point of view. You go, yo, I thought this was some little soccer team in England that don't win anything. Now we've won something. I'm making all this money. I can build more Walmarts. You know what I'm saying? So you're right, bro. He's probably realizing what a cash cow he's got. Success brings money. Because I want to buy merch. I wake up and I go, right, it's sunny. I've worn an Arsenal shirt for about 10 days in a row. I'm wearing training kits every day. I'm going in the gym. Right, which one did I wear yesterday? I wore the third kits, and I'm going to wear the home shirt. Tomorrow I'm going to wear but I'm just wearing merch. We can't get enough, people. I say it all the time. Winning fixes everything in football. You don't like the owners, they win. You don't mind the owners. You don't like the manager, we win. You like the manager. You don't like certain players, they win. You don't care. Oh, yeah, I don't really rate that player, but you won, so I'm going to just celebrate. It fixes everything in football. Everything. So if we win on Saturday, I'm telling you, the world is just going to explode. If we win the Champions League on Saturday, I think football can close its doors down and just say, we've completed it. It's like completing Grand Theft Auto with no cheat codes. When the wanted level goes up, you don't even press like up, down, left, right, R1, R2 and get the wanted level down. The world is just going to forget the parade. Saturday night is where it will be at. We can't get enough of it, bro. We can't get enough of it. We're clamoring. We've been fiending for it. So when people come in here and say, yo, apologize, I say, bro, I'm telling you, that demand, that pressure, that constructive criticism, it was needed. It put pressure on the club. The club have to feel pressure. They have to feel pressure. At times, yeah, we might have got carried away with the criticism, but Curtis, who would you start, Eze, Rodgers, or Odegaard? I think at the moment I would start Rodgers. I'm being honest with you. Eze, I love Eze, but his bad performance concerns me because he strolls around the pitch. Rodgers has much more intensity to his game. Odegaard confuses me as a player, man. Sometimes he's good, sometimes, yeah, I don't know. Odegaard's 27. People talk about Odegaard like he's a 22-year-old who's making his way in the game. He should basically be close to the pinnacle of his career. Odegaard was a better player 2 or 3 years ago. That's a concern. He turns 28 this year as well. Me personally, I'd be moving a lot of these guys on in the summer, but that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. At work, every Arsenal fan has an Arsenal water bottle. The connection is formidable. It's formidable, people. They're going to bottle it, not this year. Would you be happy if we sold Noni in the summer? I think you know my answer to that, Jermaine. I think you know my answer to that. I didn't want Noni when we signed him. And without being disrespectful, I would sell him this summer. I would sell him. I don't. What would you keep him for? But if we're going to have genuine conversation in a mature manner, if I said to somebody now, why would you keep Noni Madueke? I don't know what you could justify. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the justification. The thing that Noni had going for him earlier in the season was, oh, he's a demon 1v1. He goes past fullbacks easily. So he excited me. I remember a few games. I was going, yo, Noni, look at the way he took him on. I'm looking at him now going, well, no point taking him on if you got no end product. So what's the point? And we paid 52 million for it. I'd get rid of him. Not only would I get rid of him, this guy is probably going to get Ethan Nwaneri sold in the summer. That, for me, doesn't sit right for me. I'd cut my losses. I'd get rid of him for 30 million. I'd bring back Ethan. I'd say, right, it didn't work out. The guy's got no end product. So, but it'll probably be Ethan who gets sold. You'd keep Noni for headband sales. Oh, you never know. They'll probably bring out a Noni headband. You know, he'd probably sell out. But nah, Noni for me is not good enough. We shouldn't have bought him. I'd love to know who signed that deal off. The pace is there. You can't coach pace. You can't, but you need to coach end product. There's a reason, like, at one point, we thought Adama Traore was going to be a monster when he was at Wolves. I remember Liverpool being linked with Adama Traore for 70 million. Quickest winger in the league. You know, St. Maximum at Newcastle. Oh, my days, that pace is blistering. Yeah, there's no point having pace if you've got no end product, bro. It's just a speedboat with no steering wheel. Look at those guys' careers. They went nowhere because there was no development in their game. Who will be the backup for Eze? Well, I don't think Arsenal will sell Odegaard, so I think he'll still be here. I remember a time, do you remember that Michael Jackson? I still haven't watched the Michael Jackson film, man. What's going on? Any good? I'm going to try and watch it this weekend. I remember a time when you wished we signed Rodgers, but now that we are a level up, what's your position? We sign him and a left winger. Does that mean the end of Odegaard? If we got enough money, I would buy Rodgers and a natural left winger. If he is the left winger, I wouldn't rush into that deal because to me, Rodgers ain't a left winger. He's not. And if you're going to demand him to get up and down the wing and defend so much, I don't know if you're going to get the best out of him in that role. He has to have that freedom to sort of drift inside in that role that Eze actually played at Crystal Palace. If Mikel wants him, I want him. I'll take him in a heartbeat. Remember, it's a squad game with 4 comps. Need top quality depth. Apparently, we are linked with Krupi too. I know, listen, Mikel's in the good books right now. You've won us a league title, so But I'm still not of that opinion of like, if Mikel wants him, I want him. Because I didn't want Norgard and Arteta wanted Norgard. I didn't want Sambi Lokonga. I didn't want Noni Madueke. Managers still make mistakes amongst success. They still get... Noni Madueke was the wrong signing, even though we've won the league with him here. Michael movie is good, yeah? Yeah, I'm going to try and watch it tomorrow. Have a chilled night tomorrow, watch the movie, and then the final on Saturday will be pure stress. Big up everyone, man. 2,500 of you locked in with the great weather. Much appreciated. Mr. Oh, Morgan Rogers. Sorry, Mr. Morgan Rogers is very versatile. El Capitan is leaving us soon, said I'm one. Do you think he's going, Odegaard? I don't see it. Him and Arteta are very close. I don't think he'll get rid of him. I think Ben White, Jesus, one of the left wingers. I don't think both of them will go. I think possibly Norgard and maybe Ethan. I hope Ethan doesn't go, though. The problem with Ethan is he's pure profit. We need to sell players to balance the books. And there's clubs in for him. And there's so much traffic in front of him. He wants to play 10, but you've got Eze, Odegaard. He even plays Havertz and Marino and Dalman there sometimes. And then on the right, you've got Saka and Noni Madueke. So I'm worried for Ethan. I hope he doesn't go, though. I would keep him. But you got to remember, we spent 250 million. So we need to make money this summer. But I think if you get creative, can you sell Reece Nelson? Can you sell Fabio Vieira? First of all, get them two out the door. We've already sold Sambi Lokonga for 3 million, which is, again, 3 million. We can't get nothing for these guys. If you can get 25 mil for Ben White, if you can get maybe 15 mil for Trossard, can you get 20 mil for Jesus? Can you get 10 mil back for Norgard? And then obviously, like I said, I'd be selling Havertz and Odegaard, but I don't think he's going to. Ethan gets a medal, yeah. Nowadays, the club get handed 40 medals. And then the club hand them out. I don't think it's the 5 appearances anymore. Rogers, Rice, MLS, midfield break pressers for fun, yeah. Will Skelly be like a starter in our team next year in midfield? It'll be interesting. Sambi went for 300k. Wow, I thought it was 3 mil. You might as well just give him to him for free, innit? Just take him. Big C, the Prem Trophy was in Kenya for our parade. Love that. That parade looked crazy. Sam said, Big C, coming to the parade from Scotland, where do you recommend watching the final? Like I said, bro, I've been asked this so many times. It's a case of where can you get a ticket? Box Park Shoreditch are doing a watch-along. There's a watch-along at the stadium. Some of the tickets have gone back on resale, but you might pay more money for them. The Tollington pub, which is the main pub around the corner from Arsenal, they're doing a party there, but again, it's tickets, and apparently it's selling. I think it might have even sold out. So it's going to be difficult. There will be places, but you're going to have to search around and buy a ticket. When do you think is going to be our customary Chelsea reject? Or who do you think, according to the secret pact? Please, just have a year off with no Chelsea scrubs, man. Big up Avenab. No Chelsea players this year. Rooker said, our crash outs pushed the team. I'm telling you, bro, they needed to feel that pressure. They needed to feel that pressure. I had a conversation with the guy at Arsenal, one of the main guys who I speak to, when we was on the tour. Do you know what he came to me and said? He went, oh, what do you think about Sesko? This is when we were like, it looked like we were going to buy Sesko. And I heard a lot of the conversations around the journalists saying, Sesko. Yeah, I like Sesko. They were giving it all that. He came to me, right, and he goes, well, what do you think about us getting Sesko? You've wanted a striker for a couple of years, haven't you? I said, yeah, I don't want him. And he was looking at me like I was speaking a foreign language. He's like, you don't want him? I said, why would I want him? Yeah, but he's a good young striker. Look how tall he is. I said, I don't care. Giroud was tall. That didn't work out. Said the guy's got 13 league goals in Germany. And he's 21 years of age. Why do you think he can come to the Premier League and bag goals and lead this team to the title? And he was honestly looking at me like I was speaking a different language, because it was like whatever story was being fed to everybody from the club, we're all supposed to agree with it. And if you disagreed with it, they were like, what? What's wrong with you? So sometimes they need to hear these things like, no, I don't want Sesko. Yeah, but Mikel likes him. I said, I don't care, bro. I don't rate the guy. I don't want him. Do you know what I'm saying? I said, you need to go and get Gyökeres or Osimhen or Isak. So, and listen, I don't think Gyökeres had an amazing season, but I think he played a big influence. I think he had a big impact on Arsenal winning the title. I really do. He's not a bad player, but I didn't like his personality when they were saying things like, oh, his agent came to the game when Havertz scored twice against Chelsea and he was put off by, whether he could get him out of the team. If you're a striker and you're intimidated by Havertz at Arsenal, I don't want you as our first choice striker. Not a chance. That means your mentality isn't strong enough. You're thinking, I might not be able to get this player out of the team. Gyökeres didn't give a damn. He gave up the bonus. He gave up everything. So that's where I'm at. But anyway, we could still do with another striker, though, to be honest. What has happened to Williams seemed to have gone under the radar. He got injured at the end of the season. But hopefully we don't go in for him. Filidowski says that 21 goals is pretty decent. Yeah, it's not bad. 21 goals, all comps. And it's his impact. You saw in the Atletico game, he destroyed their defence. I think Sesko does have a lot of potential. I do. It's whether United can develop him. 10th penalty against Grimsby, exactly. Right, let's get into some injury news. No, in fact, let's finish with this final transfer story. This is nothing to worry about, in my opinion. I did have this conversation as well yesterday with the same guy, but he was saying, Barcelona, where have Barcelona found all this money from? Barcelona are weighing up an approach for Arsenal defender Piero Hincapié. Despite him being happy at Arsenal, the Spanish side understand it will be a difficult deal to pull off, but are willing to test the water. So basically, again, I asked this question yesterday. I was told there's nothing in this deal and that we are going to sign him. Obviously, we have an option / obligation to buy him that was obligated if he played so many games, and he has played so many games. This is basically Barcelona just saying, if you don't buy him, we will buy him. Do you know what I mean? That's all they're saying. And obviously, Arsenal are going to buy him. So I don't think there's any... It's not actually fake news, by the way, Callum. Like, Barcelona are interested in him. They want him. It's just Arsenal are going to buy him. So it's a non-starter of a story. Barca are just basically saying, look, if Arsenal don't buy you, we want to bring you to Barcelona. And Arsenal are going, no, we're going to get the deal done. I don't understand what's going on with Barcelona. They have no money. There was reports that Barca, we can't even buy Rashford at 30 million, we're broke. Then you're seeing Anthony Gordon, here we go, 70 million. Then they're offering 100 million for Julian Alvarez. Then they're telling Hincapié, look, if Arsenal don't do that deal, we'll come and buy you as well. They got a whole heap of money all of a sudden. This got to be on some buy now, pay later thing, man. I don't know how. Well, they have got a new stadium. I saw something saying that they're selling like the directors' boxes for like ridiculous amounts of money. Like they're making millions. Getting like celebrities and rich billionaires at Barcelona and stuff like that. And yeah, Flick signed a new deal. So they would have promised him money, and they've won back-to-back league titles and stuff like that. Barca are a massive club, so it could be his agent trying to put pressure on us to say, look, I'll sign for you, but, maybe he wants bigger wages than... You never know. Arsenal really should be announcing that deal. Let me have a look at Hincapié's wages. What does he actually earn? What's he likely to be asking? He's on 65 grand a week. You would imagine he'll get at least double. You've got to be at least getting 130, you would imagine. I think he's top quality. I think it's... Well, that's what Arsenal should do if they were smart. I mean, I wouldn't do this, but buy him off Leverkusen and then sell him to Barcelona at huge profit. But I want Arsenal to keep him anyway. They better not be anything going on here where we're not buying him for some reason, because I'm a big fan of Hincapié. I want Arsenal to do that deal. Yeah, listen, the guy said yesterday it's a non-story and we're going to buy him. Gunners Pub Islington is great. You need to get there early for a seat in the garden or inside. It's tough to park, but it's manageable. It's a close walk to the stadium too. £10 per person. Just quickly, before we get into the story around Jurrien Timber, I know a lot of you are going to be going to the parade this weekend on Sunday. And Arsenal obviously announced some details yesterday. The Arsenal Supporters Trust had a meeting on Tuesday where the club revealed a lot of details. So this is like the route that they're going. But there was a lot of details revealed that a lot of people were unhappy with, saying that basically you're going to spoil the parade a little bit. Just to give you a bit of context, what usually happens on these parades. So they usually start off at the town hall, Islington Town Hall. You'll get some pictures there where the manager, the players, they'll be lifting the trophy, people will be standing outside, and then they will get on the bus. Then the bus will get them down to the stadium. Usually there'll be some sort of like stage at the stadium. Remember when like Jack Wilshere, when we won the FA Cup and things like that? Everyone was expecting that to happen this time. Apparently this time, with Arsenal and the police and the discussions that they've had, they've decided not to have any stage at the Emirates. And apparently there isn't going to be a direct trophy lift. So during the bus parade, they're going to lift the trophy, right? They're going to keep lifting the trophy every few minutes. The bus is going really slow. They'll pass the trophy around. So what I'm trying to say is that you're going to, let's say you're standing on a part of this road, you're possibly going to see that bus for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You might see it for 2 minutes as it's moving along. It might stop for a couple minutes in front of you. You might see it for another 2 minutes as it's heading off, and then it's going to go down the road. And you've got to remember there's going to be 1 million people in the streets. You are not going to be able to move and walk with the bus. What they're saying is so many people were outside the stadium, particularly on Sunday after we beat Palace. The police are scared of having a stage at the stadium, of people getting crushed. You got to remember, a lot of people are going to be bringing little kids. You know, when I went there the other day, there was people in wheelchairs, there was little kids. They think it can become a dangerous environment if everybody's trying to squeeze into that space around the stadium. So they don't want people to all try and get there. It's a hot day. So my intention was, you've got to get to the stadium. I don't care how early you get there. You've got to be around the stadium for the stadium lift. But they're saying it's not going to happen there. So it might make sense to just get away from the stadium and be somewhere along this route where it might just be a little bit less hectic. And you're right, safety first. Do you know what I mean? It's safety first. Like, and these things can turn for the worst. Like, there was what, 100, 150,000 there the other day, and it was getting crazy around the stadium, I'm telling you. So it could be 10 times that amount. So you might be better off going to the town hall or going somewhere along the route and just getting your pictures. Also, they're saying this whole area of the map, you're not going to be able to drive into that area. So anyone who's driving, you might want to plan where you're going to park. And if you are getting the train, a lot of train stations are closed as well. So definitely, if you're going to this parade, plan it way in advance where you're going to park or what train station you're going to get to, because the train stations that are right near the stadium, you're not going to be able to get to some of them. So yeah, what I will say, anybody going to it, plan it and make sure you're safe. I wouldn't be too desperate to get to where the Emirates is, to be honest. Especially if you're bringing kids with you and that, it will be crazy around there. Yeah, it makes no sense. You've got 1 million people trying to get there, so you're going to close train stations, which is going to mean then other train stations are going to be busier because you've closed some of them. It really doesn't make sense. When I read that, I was like, why would you close train stations? Do you know what I mean? I would just say, look, it's a great occasion. It's a huge celebration. but definitely be on your P's and Q's. You know what I mean? But safety will be a concern when you got that many people. So I think personally, I mean, look, if you can get near the stadium, then do it, right? Because that's the play. You just want to see the stadium, but it might be a lot less stressful if you're not around the stadium and you just try and get on that route somewhere, especially if you're bringing kids with you as well. And the parade starts at 2, so you're probably gonna have to get there earlier as well. Yeah, no, I've genuinely seen that. I've genuinely seen people saying like, yeah, I'm just gonna get a tent and wait there from the night before. This is not no normal parade. I don't know if you see Man City's parade the other day with the Carabao and the FA Cup. Honestly, I've seen more people at the traffic lights crossing the road. It was crazy. There was loads of space. It was madness. Arsenal, you ain't going to be able to move, but anybody who's going, be safe and plan ahead. Bear in mind, you're probably not going to be able to get to a toilet, right? You're going to be blocked in for a long time. I'd bring water with you. You might need snacks with you. The phone signal is going to be terrible. Yeah, even if you go to a game at the Emirates, you struggle to get signal on your phone, never mind a million people. So make sure your phone and you know what I mean, all those little safety precautions, you need to make sure. Yeah, listen, I'm more, yeah. I'll have a look. But I'm not like planning on going there and like staying there all day. I'm not, to be honest. I'm going to try and get there not too far away from 2 o'clock. I just want to see the bus, get a couple pictures, and then I'll probably dip out of it. I'm not trying to be there all day. It's too busy. It's too busy, man. Honestly. I'll be honest with you. If we win the Champions League on Saturday, big if, I know, I'll be there Saturday night. I think that'll be the big celebration. That'll be the better one for me. 1 million people is too much in any environment. But yeah, hopefully it goes well. I would loan Ethan to a Prem club. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. A Palace, a Brentford, a Bournemouth. I just wouldn't sell him. I think he's too talented. Saturday night will be crazy. Yeah. Palace are having a parade, apparently. 2 laps for 2 cups. That parade will go to a whole nother level. Same advice for anybody who's coming to MetLife Stadium for the World Cup. There's no parking. You have to use the train. Not allowed to walk. It's going to be ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm telling you, just make... Yeah, no, listen, the good thing about the last 2 celebrations with the Arsenal fans has been the Tuesday and the Sunday. From what I saw and what I heard, there's been no trouble. Everyone, and look, Saturday night in London, people drinking, people smoking, people hype. You think, could be a dangerous environment. But I haven't seen anything but good vibes. The problem you got with this parade is there's a lot of people going to it that aren't Arsenal fans. People are treating this parade like carnival. Like, yo, man's going parade. I'm like, bro, you're a Man United fan. Yeah, but... So that's the problem. So just make sure you're on your P's and Q's is what I would say, you know. Yeah, I saw people with babies. I couldn't believe it. With the amount of people that were smoking and that. I said, yo, you can't be bringing a baby to this, man. It ain't the right environment. Any Arsenal fans in Kansas that know of a place to watch the game? Wichita. Big up. Let him know if there is any. Young kids stay out of the water if you can't swim. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, bro. You see how many people are like getting caught in rivers and stuff. I don't know. When people drink and the sun's out, man, it's dangerous. That might be your best option. I'm not even joking. Get a Lime bike. I've seen loads of people park up, get a Lime bike, pedal down, and you're in. That could be the best option. It's just there'll be a lot of people grabbing them. NC USA Gunner, on the point of safety, it's also critical for fans to be helpful, patient, and gracious to one another throughout the day. The day is an opportunity for fans to show their best character and class. I do totally agree with that. You need patience. Anybody who's ever been to a parade, I mean, I was a lot younger when I went to the last one, but people are going to be bumping into you. It's one of them crazy. You've got to be patient. You're spot on with that. FPL said, hit me up. I'm in Wichita, Elizabeth Lounge on Woodlawn. We'll be showing it. There you go. That's what the community is about. Elton said, important. Arsenal have advised not to come to the Emirates on Saturday. They're looking to have a clear area for Sunday. Yeah, that ain't going to happen, mate. If we win the Champions League on Saturday, there'll be probably 200,000 people outside on Saturday night. And then there'll be, what they don't want to do is have to clean up on Sunday morning. Because every time they have these celebrations, the streets are filthy. But yeah, anyway, let's move on, people. Let's move on. Right, let's talk about Jurrien Timber. Jurrien Timber. The good news is he trained for the first time with the team yesterday, and he's training today. I won't say bad news, but the not so quite good news yet is that they don't know whether he's going to play on Saturday or not. I keep saying Sunday because he's missed 14 games. He's been out for 2 months. And can you just throw him into a Champions League final against Kvaratskhelia, who's one of the best wingers in the world? I spoke about this with you guys the other day. If Timber's 80% fit, maybe, is he better than 100% fit Mosquera? We spoke about it. We put a vote up and a poll. You guys said you would play an 80% fit Timber over Mosquera. It's just going to be interesting. He has been picked in the Dutch squad for the World Cup, but obviously there's another 2.5 weeks until the World Cup starts. So there's still an opportunity for them to, recover. You look at Lamine Yamal, they reckon he's going to miss 2 or 3 games at the start of the World Cup. So I don't even know. Usually I'm very certain, like, I would do this, I would do that. I don't like the thought of risking him. But Mosquera worries me. But then if Timber's not fully fit, is he even going to be useful to us? I love Timber, though. I love Timber as a player. I just don't like seeing Arsenal players. My worry with Timber is this. Don't turn Timber into Ben White. Ben White was one of the best right backs in the league at one point. We've smashed him to pieces. Do you know what I mean? We got to be very careful we don't do the same thing with him. But it is a Champions League final. Is that good? I don't know. I don't know. Would you mash up Timber for 6 months if it meant we won the final? See you at Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'll see you on Boxing Day. Brentford away. Champions League is out for 6 months. I'll see you on Boxing Day at Brentford. There you go. Sorry, people. It's the champs, man. You know what I mean? If that groin's got to tear apart 6 months out, but we've won the champs, star above the badge. Keep the change, you filthy animal. And a happy new year. Merry Christmas. You ever seen the film Bad Santa? You know what I mean? A Bad Santa, man. You know what I mean? What's a groin between friends? Gone till November like Wycliffe Jean, you know what I mean? But yeah. And that's the point, Gats. You know what I mean? He himself would risk it. That's a great point. If he's trained yesterday and he trains today, and the manager goes, Jurrien, do you want to play? What's he going to say? He's saying, I'm good, man. 60, 70 minutes, I'm good. Yeah, bring your turkey sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Bit of salad cream. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Home Alone, Boxing Day, Christmas Day movie. We keep it moving. But listen, great news, but is he going to be involved? Apparently the team is travelling today. Training this morning, travelling this afternoon is what I heard. Then I think they train at the stadium tomorrow. And then obviously, I mean, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm so caught up in winning the league that the Champions League final has only just started to process a little bit. It was just in the background. I was so committed to the final week of the season, I wasn't even thinking about the Champions League final. Now, I'm toning down a little bit from the celebrations of the Prem. I'm like, yo, we've got a Champions League final on Saturday against PSG. Like, I didn't watch much of the Palace game last night, to be honest, but I put it on for about 10 minutes. And I thought the next game of football that I watch after this is going to be Arsenal against PSG. The current 2 best teams in Europe, if you look at performance level. And that game, I'm going to be so nervous watching it. But I keep telling myself, I don't know about anybody else. And you know me, I'm not a copium type of content creator. When I don't think something's going to work for Arsenal, I'm very much somebody that says it's not going to work. So I'm not one of these people. I've just got this feeling that we're going to beat PSG. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm on such a high that we've won the league that I think we can win everything that we ever play in. I've just got this feeling we're going to stink out that game and beat them. I don't know why. I can just visualize it. I'm trying to put it out there, speak it into existence, but I've just got a feeling. Because last year we played them. Donnarumma made the difference. I don't care what anybody says. Go back and watch the highlights of that semi-final. Donnarumma was moving like Spider-Man. He was unbelievable. They don't have a goalkeeper at that level, right? Partey was suspended first game. That mashed up our midfield. And we had Kivior because Gabriel was out for both games. And Marino was up front. We had no striker. We got a striker in Gyökeres. We've got more creativity with Eze. We've got momentum, which is what you guys have just said. We've just won a title. Last season, we messed up the Premier League. So we were playing with desperation. And they had Donnarumma. So you got no Donnarumma. We have got Gabriel. We have got a striker. I think we're going to beat them. I think we'll beat them by 1 goal. I'm predicting 2-1. I've said it all week and I'm sticking by it. PSG 1, Arsenal 2. We're winning the Champions League final. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, because I did actually see those highlights the other day, and they missed a lot of sitters as well. They hit the post. Barcola missed that one-on-one. Ramos hit the bar. But I think we're beating them. I think we're beating them. I'm telling you. I think we'll have more fans than them. We've won the Prem. They can clip me. I don't care. I think we're going to beat them 2-1. Big up Jake, man. Yeah. You know how it goes, Jake. Big up your damn self. It's going to be close. I think if they win or we win, it's like you win by the odd goal. I've had people this week, oh, you're going to get battered by PSG. Really? We played them 3 times last year. They didn't batter us once. They beat us 1-0 and 2-1, and we beat them 2-0 in the groups. But Dembele wasn't playing that game. So it's all there. We'll talk in more detail tomorrow when it comes to sort of what lineup are we going to pick and things like that. Is he going to play Odegaard or Eze? Is he going to play Gyökeres or Havertz? Is he going to play Mosquera or Timber? Does he play Nketiah or does he play Calafiori? I did see yesterday, by the way, that Hakimi and Dembele are back in training. So they're at full strength. Do you know what it is, people? For years, I always looked at it like, I hope they've got players injured. I hope they this. I hope they that. You realise that to win the Prem, you're going to have to beat Pep's Man City. We got over the line. To win the Champions League, we're going to have to beat Luis Enrique's PSG. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, if Hakimi's out and this guy's out, they're going to be at full strength. Simple as that. You're going to have to beat the full strength. To be the world champion boxer, you've got to beat Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, Usyk, Lennox Lewis. You got to beat the top guy. You're not going to fight Danny Williams for the world title. I know Danny Williams always gets strays on here, but he's the guy that beat Mike Tyson on Channel 5 when he was washed up. And it was a sad end to Mike Tyson's career. So forgive me, Danny Williams, if you're ever watching. So if we win the Champions League, there'll be no excuses. We didn't beat some little half team that shouldn't be there. We beat PSG at full strength. We just beat Pep's Man City. So I'm all for it. We can beat them. We're going to beat them. Trust me. We're going to beat them. We're going to defend. We're going to frustrate them. And then we're going to score. Then we'll score again. Then they'll get one back. We'll be nervous. We'll win the game. 2-1. And we'll all be at the Emirates by about 8 p.m. Calling it. Yeah, rocky settings, man. I'm telling you. Drago in Russia. We'll be shouting out Adrian by 8 o'clock. Anyway, somebody who might not be here next season, people, is Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal are demanding up to £20 million for Gabriel Jesus this summer. Enquiries from multiple clubs for the 29-year-old striker, who've been quoted 18 to 20 million pounds. The Brazilian can go as a free agent when his contract expires in June of 2027. Arsenal are not considering a cheap sale before then. But your time. Start getting money for these players, because I'm sick of Arsenal not being able to sell players. And it's going to have a big role on this summer because we need to balance the books. So we need to pick up a 20 million for Jesus, a little 10 million for Fabio Vieira, a little 10 million for Reece Nelson. And then your Ben Whites, and if you move Havertz, Trossard, whoever you get rid of. This is a sad one. I always say this. That Jesus, it's not through lack of ability. He's a baller, but he's a smashed up baller. Do you know what I mean? He's a smashed up baller. It's a Cat D car with a dodgy engine. You wouldn't want to go anywhere near it, to be honest. Big wages, injury prone, doesn't score enough. I mean, there's not a lot to buy, really. However, if you put him in a less strenuous league and you've got goals from other areas of the team, maybe you still get a solid player for 20 million. And you're right, Ricky, he was a game changer. That first 6 months, I thought he was going to be a superstar. I'm not even joking. His link-up play, his movement, his technical ability. One thing I saw is that AC Milan want him. Now, for me, and somebody said this in the chat the other day, Gabriel Jesus plus cash for Leao. Thank you and good night. Milan want Jesus. We'll give you Jesus plus 30 million. You bring me Leao on that left-hand side. Simple. Easy deal. You ain't even got to spend much money. There's your left winger. 30 million. Jesus is basically... He hasn't even really been at the club for a long time. AC Milan want him. 30 million plus Jesus. Leao left-hand side. Thank you and good night. Sounds a bit too simple. It's never that straightforward, is it? Leao's lawyer. Bring Leao to the carpet, man. My left wing video's coming out this week. Don't worry. I've gone into great detail about a lot of these players. Like I said, the problem with Leao has always been he doesn't defend much. And Arteta wants defence. So, but he's on the list. When you see the video, listen, you're not going to see left wingers that you don't know. We spoke about them every day. I said, for me, the big two that I'd be looking at, Vinicius Jr., I think he's gettable at the right price. But he might not want to leave. A lot of people saying Mbappe. Mbappe's not leaving, and he's on 750 grand a week. Vinicius, I would take all day long. Ballon d'Or last year, he should have won it. Kvara would be the ideal one. I just don't think PSG sell him. However, we might be able to get him if we win the Champions League. Because all of a sudden then, we look like we're the best team on the planet. That does things to certain players, right? So you win the Champions League, you might get Kvara out of PSG. But I think it'll be difficult. You're then looking at more unproven wingers like Diomande at Leipzig. You've got that Micah Gertz from... Ajax, right? They're more unproven. We don't know too much about them. Could they deal with the step up? You've then got those sort of not top of the tree, maybe the one below, which would be like Leao, Nico Williams, Yildiz. Those three. I think Yildiz would suit our style. Barcola as well. Is his end product good enough? Last year, his GA was very high. This year, not so good. And then you've got a couple of wild cards, which would be somebody, I'm not saying we should, but somebody like Marcus Rashford. That's not me saying we should go for him. That's me just saying he's a big name left winger that's on the market for around 30 million. Especially now Barcelona are going for Anthony Gordon. So it's what sort of level. We know that Arteta likes Nico Williams. I don't want Nico Williams personally. I think Barcola is gettable, 70 million plus. I think you get him. Somebody said Yildiz not for sale, but Juventus didn't make Champions League. Lawrence saying just get Rodgers, play him on the left. So that might be the route. Maybe Arsenal are looking at the left wing market and going, I don't like it. Maybe they're looking at it going, you can't get Vinicius, you can't get Kvara. Nico Williams isn't good enough. Barcola, is he worth 70, 80 million? Leao's inconsistent, doesn't defend. Rashford, they probably wouldn't trust him. 300 grand a week wages. I don't know. Maybe they're thinking, yeah, just go with Rodgers. Took him off the left-hand side, play him in that sort of Trossard left wing role. So I don't know. I don't know. Can you imagine being 80 years old and Arsenal win? Yeah, listen, I saw a lot of elderly fans at the celebrations, man. It's amazing. Clement said Leao, Rodgers are my main options. Gertz, Rashford, Yildiz, Barcola are backup options. Justice said Rodgers, Alvarez, Nico, Barcola, Leao, Martinez. The Inter striker. Fears. 60 million for Barcola is a great deal. That man is incredible. I don't know what it is with Barcola that I've just never been... I like him. I class him as a wavy baller. He's a TikTok editor's like, you know what I mean? There's probably tons of videos online of Barcola, and his numbers are good, but I see him miss big chances. Last season, he got 14 goals, 10 assists in the league. I think we added it up. He had like 38 GA last year. 11 league goals this year, 2 in the Champions League. I'm just not fully convinced by him. I wouldn't be disappointed if we got him, but I just don't. I watched a lot of his goals from last year, and they all seem to be like through ball, running behind and finish. And I'm always thinking, you don't get that opportunity too often in the Premier League when you're playing Leeds at home and they've got 10 players on the edge of the penalty area. You're not getting that through ball. So I always think when Arsenal are signing a player, you've got to look at him and say, how good would he do if he didn't have space to run into? Do you know what I mean? That's why somebody like Kvara would be so good, because he can dribble. That's why I think Yildiz would be very good, because he can dribble. Do you know what I mean? So rather have Doué. I just don't think you could get Doué out of PSG. Hooper said, I want to see the same team we played against Fulham, plus Timber if fit. It's the best football we played for months. Let me have a look. I can't even remember the starting 11 in that Fulham game. Let's have a look. We'll have a look. Was that Gyökeres? So it was Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice, Skelly, Eze, Trossard, Saka, Gyökeres. I like that team. The only thing I would change, to be honest, I don't trust Calafiori against Doué. I just don't. He gets forward too much. They are so quick on the break. I think we'd get pulled apart. Because what would happen then? Gabriel gets pulled out of central defence to go to the left back position to cover Calafiori. It just opens spaces up in the back four. I would definitely play Nketiah over Calafiori. That's my point of view. But some of you, we'll talk about that more tomorrow. But I would definitely be playing Lewis Skelly. I would not be playing Zubamendi. Starting Capier, sub Calafiori. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Mr. Cool Bus Driver, my ideal choice is Micah Gertz because he offers creativity as well as goals. Because we lack in the creative sense. Reminds me of Pires. Interesting. Calafiori second half, best option. I would start in Capier. I think to beat PSG, we need to be solid, frustrate them, then score against them. I think if you're playing Calafiori, you're asking them to go and expose us. You're saying, this is our weakness, go and exploit us. And I don't want to give them any defensive weakness. But then some people would take the gamble and say he offers so much going forward that we're just going to play high risk, high reward football. So we'll do a poll about that tomorrow. Big up Glenn, who said, hello Curtis, I've supported Arsenal all my life. I'm 78. I didn't think I would see Arsenal win the league again. Alan from Suffolk. Big up to you, bro, man. I love it when, you know, we get people of different age groups locked in. You got young fans, middle age and older. And, you know, I like hearing from people in the community who've seen more of Arsenal than me. And, you know, I still, even to this day, people, I watch old videos of Arsenal. You know, I watch Kenny Samson, because people say, I've heard people before say, yo, Kenny Samson, one of our best, you know, defenders. You know, when you talk about Ashley Cole, they go, nah, Kenny Samson. I go, well, I didn't really see much of it. So I go and watch things about Kenny Samson, and '89, people always talk about '89 at Anfield, and I watch the old videos and stuff. Yo, what was '89 like? I used to ask Kevin Campbell when we finished the stream, Kev, yo, what was '89 like? What was you lot thinking? Going to Anfield, Liverpool this good, you've got to beat them. When Thomas scores, how are you feeling? Like, I still try and learn about the club because we don't know everything about the club. Do you know what I mean? I still want to know things about the club and what was George Graham like as manager and when he took over. And I think it's always important as a fan to keep trying to learn about your club and understanding the history and all those sorts of things. After review, Arsenal are the European champions. I'm telling you now, like, people think I've been joking. We won the Prem, I feel like I've been on holiday for the week. We win the Champions League, I will be on holiday for the week. Yeah, all them Vegas jokes and that, they weren't a joke. Like, I'm being serious when I say, like, yo, hangover 4 settings. There's a tiger in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm telling you, champs, for me, that's next level. That's next level if we win the champs. Them Prem celebrations have been big. We win the Champions League, passport, and I'm on the move. Super Cup final against Aston Villa. Emery against Arteta. World Club Cup. Stevie said it's actually my birthday today. Big 33. Big up to you, Stevie, man. What a weekend this could be. Lawrence said, bro, I'm so hyped. This is the biggest game of our lives. I'll cry tears of happiness. It feels like I said the other day, I'm not dismissing what we've done previously because we've been in a Champions League final before. But this Champions League final feels bigger to me. Maybe it's an age thing and, you know, I was a teenager them times. But this is the biggest Arsenal game for me that I have ever watched in my life. Ever. In my opinion. Because I just think if we win the Champions League final, we're a totally different football club. You're going to wake up, we're not the same club. We're going to be totally different. You put a star above our badge. You can't sing second again, ole, ole, already, because we won the league. And you can't sing Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. And I just look at it and I just think if we win one Champions League, it might be a run where we're just winning and winning and winning. Not Champions Leagues. Like, I'm not saying we're going to win 2 or 3 Champions Leagues, but I think we'll win more trophies next year. And the year after, I think we'll win trophies. And you might have been looking at a player at this level like, right, we need a left winger, lads. Let's buy Gertz, Micah Gertz from Ajax. Yeah, but you've just won the Champions League. And I've just had Vinicius Junior's agent on the phone saying, or I've just had Kvara's agent on the phone saying he'd love to play for Arsenal. Okay, delete Micah Gert's number. We're Champions League winners. We can buy anybody. Like, I think we go into a whole nother atmosphere, man. It's going to be... Will it be bigger than Invincibles? For me, I've said this. I've said this for a long time. I need the Champions League. Invincibles is a... Listen, it might never be done again in the Premier League, to be honest. But ultimately, it's bragging rights, Invincibles. It's saying, yo, we won the league unbeaten. But we need the Champions League, man. Vinicius, did he say he supports Arsenal in the final? Just bring him to the carpet, man. Bring Vinny to the carpet. What did he say? I can't see the quotes. He's been granted time. I saw that. Yeah, he's been sent home early to get ready for the World Cup. Tim Reader is... I've been... Oh, Graham Bailey put out a story a few weeks ago saying... that he might be available. Mbappe wins Player of the Season. Vinny at Arsenal, mate. Oh, would be incredible. Right, let's have I got one more story, I think, before we get out of here. What was the last story? Oh, yeah, Krupi was the one, actually. Big up Lawrence, he reminded me. I had both stories lined up, but this was part of the Morgan Rogers deal. Miguel Delaney, he's all right, mid-tier. He put out a story basically saying that with the Alvarez deal now looking like... with Alvarez now looking like he's going to Barcelona, Arsenal are looking for a younger striker, a versatile striker, which is what I said for a while. I don't think they're going to buy an Alvarez because Gyökeres on big wages. I think that they're going to look for a young striker. There were reports saying that Arsenal were looking at Endrick, but they're saying Endrick wants guaranteed first-team football. I don't think Arsenal can offer him that. He plays predominantly off the right or up front. We've got Gyökeres, we've got Saka. So it doesn't look like anything will happen with Endrick. But Miguel Delaney is saying Arsenal are trying to sign Morgan Rogers and Eli Krupi Jr. this summer. They've already made progress with the Morgan Rogers deal. I'm a big fan of this Krupi. I'm not just saying it because he scored that goal, because I think every Arsenal fan loves this guy now. He has impressed me this season. 13 league goals as a 19-year-old in the Premier League in your debut season is very, very impressive. By the way, last season, when he was only 18, he scored 22 goals in the second division of France for Lorient. Got the move and got 13 goals. I mean, he's got 1 goal less than Gyökeres. And he's 19 years of age. That is a talent. Can play on the left, can play on the right, can play up front. 19, bring him to the carpet. You need to buy players like this as well. Not everybody can be the big glamorous 26-year-old that's going to cost 100 million. You've got to invest for the future. This is the kind of player I want to see this deal. In fact, bring both of these to the carpet. I want to see wavy ballers at the club. I want to see a bit more silk and a bit more flair. Take the shackles off the team next season, man. He scored against Arsenal, City and Man United. Bring him. Bring him. Bring him to the guy. Guy's a baller, bro. Look at his goal against City. The guy's sick, bro. Seriously. How much would he cost? I don't know. How much did they actually pay for him? Can't have been that much from the French second division. 12 million. So it says he's got a release clause that comes into effect next year, 87 million. So this year would require negotiation. That's the only problem. That's the only problem. How much is he worth? How much would you pay for him? That's the problem. They sold Huijsen to Real Madrid for 52 million. He's a centre-back. They got just over 60 for Semenyo. Would you pay 60 million for him? Would you get him for 60? Areola's leaving as well. Rogers and Krupi would be good. Get a centre mid in as well. Get a right back. Yeah, that'd be a proper window. That'd be a proper start to the window. I'd just be careful not to overpay on him, though. He's on 20 grand a week. There you go. 80 grand a week, you've quadrupled your wages, and that'd be small fry for us. Krupi reminds me of a young Jesus. I think it'll be good to have a different profile of striker. Like, he's smaller, more mobile, can play off the wing, he drifts, shoots from outside the box. No, he didn't get in the French squad. Understandable. They got Dembele, Mbappe, Doué, Elise. Yeah, he ain't getting in the French squad, but he's a hell of a player. I'd be looking, 40, 45, but Bournemouth, I reckon they'll ask for 50 plus for him. If they were selling centre-backs for 50 mil. 14 for Krupi, 9 for Gyökeres. Glock 9. Which midfielder do you want? I'm not totally sure yet. I think we need an 8. I'd leave Rice in the 6 and buy an 8. What 8 would I buy? I'm not even totally sure, to be honest. I've always liked Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle, but I just don't think now they've sold Gordon, they might sell Tonali, and he is about 28, and he's been a bit injury prone. I'd love to see, I mean, look, I'll be honest, I'm with you, Cello. I'd love to see Valverde, but he's captain of Real Madrid. I think they're more likely to sell Tchouaméni out of the two players that had the argument and keep Valverde, and I don't think Tchouaméni's the right profile. I want an 8 in midfield. Maybe we'll do a video looking at that as well. Again, I like Tonali, but I think he's more of a 6. Barella, I used to like Barella, but he's fell off. They play him in a different role now. I don't want that Fernandes from West Ham. I don't think he's good enough. Would you take Jude Bellingham? I would, I'd put him in the 8, though, not in the 10. I would take Jude. I know a lot of people don't rate him. I still think he's good. Maybe you could put Rogers left 8. Maybe you could drop him a bit deeper and put him in that role. Rice, Rodgers, Eze, maybe. I'm not sure. Valverde would be absolutely perfect. If you said to me now, give me what, I'd say Valverde would be absolutely incredible. Anderson, I'm surprised we're not in for him because he's had a very good season and he plays centre mid now with Rice for England. So that transition would be very simple, but they want like 85 million for him. 4 goals this year. He hasn't, but he is good. He is good. But we'll see. We'll see. There'll be a lot of options. Krupi is a flary Jermaine Defoe. Big up D. I mean, Jermaine Defoe was an unbelievable finisher. And D. Brown said, Krupi and Rodgers, Arsenal will dominate the Premier League for years. Like I said, people, there's an opportunity to dominate now with the amount of people like that have got managers that are inexperienced at the moment. Do you know what I mean? There is definitely an opportunity for Arsenal to be clearly the best team in this country where no one else is on our level. But they have to get the window right. You got to be careful. Sometimes, like you look at Liverpool last year, they win the league, they spend 500 million and they got worse. But then they lost 4 or 5 players that really pulled the level down of that team. We're going to get rid of fringe players that are fading, you know. I don't think Morgan Rodgers is the guy. His all-round play is trash. He's a final third player. He gives the ball away a lot. Alex Scott and Ibra Marza, says Gervais. I do like Rodgers, but he's a high-risk, high-reward player. And you look at Bruno. Bruno gives the ball a lot as well, away. But he gets you loads of assists, loads of goals. So sometimes you got to take that chance with a player. Those are the players that win you games also. So we'll see. If Jesus leaves, who gets the number 9? Will Gyökeres move to 9? I mean, he made a big deal of the 14, so maybe we'll sign a new number 9, people. Maybe we'll sign a new number 9. Listen, big up to everyone locked in. Appreciate your support on this very hot Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll build up more to the game tomorrow. I believe the press conference is being released tomorrow. And we'll look ahead to the game, people. The biggest game, maybe, in the history of Arsenal Football Club. Big up to everyone. Hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.